A part arrives at a shipyard 2 days late. A welding team waits. Then the crane crew waits. Then the painters, because the deck can't be coated until the structure is welded, and the structure can't be welded until that one part shows up. By the time anyone updates the schedule, the yard has burned 3 days. At $55,000 a day for a dry dock, that's $165,000 from one part. This story plays out somewhere in the world every single Monday.
Every shipyard runs on 2 layers of software. The top layer is planning. Gantt charts, weekly meetings, master schedules, project management tools. It tells you what should happen. This is a mature, billion-dollar category. It works. The bottom layer is the record. ERP, finance, document management. It tells you what already happened. Also a mature, billion-dollar category. Also works. Between them is a gap, and the gap is where shipyards actually live. The plan says the part arrives Monday. The record says it was paid for last week, but the part is still on a truck in Antwerp, and nobody in either system knows yet. By the time the plan is updated, it's already wrong. By the time the record is updated, the damage is already done.
Here's the strange thing. This gap has existed for as long as ships have been built, and no one has given it a name. Planning vendors think the gap is their problem, so they add more dashboards, more notifications, more drill down. But planning tools are designed to be authored, not to be live. You don't replan a Gantt chart every 15 minutes. You can't. ERP vendors think the gap is downstream noise. Just record what happened and reconcile. But by the time ERP knows, the yard has lost the day. The gap has been everyone's problem and no one's product. There's a name for it, the execution layer. The layer between the plan and the record where work actually happens, where parts arrive late, where crews get reassigned, where the welder calls in sick, where the class society wants one more document. You can't manage a yard from the plan. You can't manage it from the record. You manage it from the execution layer. Most yards just don't have one.
So what does the execution layer do? 3 jobs. Job 1. Map every dependency. A typical new build has about 5,000 work packages. Whole erection, outfitting, painting, testing. Each package has between 5 and 20 dependencies. Some on parts, some on people, some on prior packages, some on class approvals. Multiply it out, and you're looking at 50 to 100,000 individual dependency links per vessel. Nobody holds that in their head. Nobody holds it in a Gantt chart either, because a Gantt chart shows you the happy path. It doesn't show you what falls over when one link breaks. The execution layer holds all of them, every link, every direction, every dependency type. So when something moves, the system already knows what else has to move. Job 2. Catch collisions before they cost days. A collision is when 2 facts in the yard contradict each other. The plan says the welders are on vessel A. The record says they clocked into vessel B. The plan says the valve kit arrives Tuesday. The record says the purchase order was canceled on Friday. Most collisions get caught in the next stand-up, sometimes the next weekly, sometimes never, until the day the work was supposed to happen. By then, you've already lost the day. The execution layer catches them the moment they happen, not in the next meeting, the moment. Job 3. Replan around what actually happened. The plan is a guess. The record is a receipt. Reality is somewhere in between, and it's moving. When a part slips 5 days, the question isn't, did the plan move? Of course it did. The question is, what else moves? Which crews now have empty slots? Which milestones still hold? Which downstream tasks can be pulled forward to absorb the gap? A planner can do that math. They just can't do it 50 times a day, across 40 trades while still attending the 7 meetings on their calendar. The execution layer does it automatically, every minute across every dependency. So the plan you're looking at right now is the plan as it actually stands, not the plan as it was authored Monday morning. Map, catch, replan. 3 jobs. That's the whole layer.
You could have built this in 2005. The math isn't new. The dependency graphs aren't new. So why now? 3 forces are converging. Force 1, the order book. As of the end of 2025, the global new build order book stands at 300 million gross tons. That's the 3rd highest level ever recorded, behind only the superboom years of 2007 and 2008. Container ship orders alone hit a record, with the order book at nearly 35% of the existing fleet. Yards are full. Deliveries will peak near 100 million gross tons in 2027, and already 20% of orders are running more than 3 months late. Force 2, the workforce. U.S. shipbuilding alone faces a 250,000 worker shortage. Skilled welders, fitters, electricians, crews are running thinner than they have in decades. And you can't fix that with hiring alone, because the training pipelines take years. Thinner crews means less slack. Less slack means every disruption costs more. The yards that survive this decade are the ones that can absorb shocks without burning crew hours on rework or coordination. Force 3, the data. This is the quietest of the 3, and the most important. Every modern shipyard already has the data. The procurement system knows the part is late, the badge readers know the welder is on vessel B. The Class Society portal knows the document was returned for revision. The CAD system knows what changed yesterday. The data exists. Nobody has stitched it together. That's the wedge. Not better Gantts, not smarter ERP. A new layer between them that finally connects what the yard already knows.
There's a temptation when you build for shipyards to pick one: new build or repair. They look different. They feel different. They probably want different products. We think that's wrong. New build yards plan months out and hold the line. The contract is firm. The design is firm. The Gantt is supposed to be a commitment. When the world moves, new build planning tries to absorb the change against a fixed deadline. Repair yards live the opposite life. The vessel arrives, the survey runs, the scope grows by lunch. By Monday afternoon, the morning's plan is fiction. Repair planning has to absorb the shock in real time. Same problem underneath, different surface. In both cases, the work is a dense graph of dependencies. In both cases, the graph is constantly being perturbed. In both cases, the question is the same. When something moves, what moves with it? The execution layer doesn't care whether the deadline is firm or floating. It just keeps the graph honest. That's the bet. 1 product, 2 operating modes. Hold the line for new build, absorb the shock for repair. Same engine underneath.
We're building Farview. Farview is the execution layer for shipyards. We connect to the systems a yard already has: planning, ERP, procurement, class portals, badge readers, CAD. We map every dependency across every vessel in the yard. We catch collisions the moment they happen, not in the next stand-up. And we replan continuously, so the plan you're looking at is the plan as it actually stands. We're not trying to replace the planning layer. We're not trying to replace the ERP. Those tools are doing what they were designed to do. We're filling the gap between them, the layer no one has named that every yard has lived in for the last 50 years. This is what we believe. The next decade of shipbuilding will be defined by the yards that learn to coordinate complex builds in real time, not the ones with the best Gantts, not the ones with the cleanest ERP, the ones with an execution layer. We're building that layer. If you run a yard or you're thinking about how yards run, we'd love to talk. Farview.ai. Coordinate complex builds.